Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again is co-host Jason Juggling J. Ford. Jay, plenty to talk about again today. We have the playoff in cricket coming up. We have the next round of the Dudley Eve, or the final round, round robin, and so much more. But first, let's get a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, yesterday, Jay, the Bermuda Cricket Board announced the playoff match between Flats and the Somerset Cricket Club will take place at Seabreeze Oval on Sunday, 10 a.m. start. Your thoughts on the possibilities of Flats being able to meet the challenge and get promoted?
50-50.
Well, when the game starts, yeah, it's always 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. No, I say that because along with Somerset have their challenges with youngsters who return back to school. Flats, basically, who shows up for either team?
Yeah.
If we could sit there and look at the lineup, what we think who should be playing, and work out scenarios. But realistically, we talked about it last couple of shows. This time of the season is basically who gets to the field on time,
right?
Or sometimes even late.
Well, the plus for Somerset is the 3 players that wouldn't have been available if this match was played last week are available this week because the Somerset Trojans are off.
Yeah.
On Sunday. So Justin and a few others will be available because they won't be playing for Somerset Trojans. They'll be available to play that 1 game in the hopes of keeping Somerset in the Premier Division.
But I tell you, it doesn't matter who plays. It's going to be a game that's going to probably have some good bit of intensity because no team wants to. Well, Somerset doesn't want to go back down.
Right.
And Flats wants to come up.
This is a big chance for Flats.
Yeah.
If ever they want to make a statement and give themselves an opportunity to really be able to challenge for the Eastern County Cup trophy next year, this will be the ideal one.
Yeah,
because if they play in the Premiership,
and you said it. That's if you play in the Premiership, you're playing against better opposition to prepare yourself for the Eastern County Cup. Obviously, you don't have the talent on the squad to win the Premier League. Right. So your goal will basically be similar to what Western Stars, and congratulations to Western Stars. So number one, to survive, survive staying up, but also your eyes will be all focused on the first round of these. Is the first? Oh no, the second round. They have the second round of the Eastern Counties, which would be in mid-August.
Right. After Cup match.
So they're going to have to. They're still going to be together. For majority of the end, we talked about it with teams that doesn't really have anything to play for. They sort of, wade away in the wind. So it's going to be interesting who shows up.
Well, time will tell. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Well, actually 9:30. Who wins the toss? The conditions. Remember, the forecast is for high winds and rain.
That's another thing. The weather is not looking great for Sunday.
Yeah.
So what would happen then? We'll probably get, who knows.
Well, they've already booked the following weekend for Champions of Champions. So what do? Do they push it back a further week? Or?
And once again, you push it back. It would be on a Sunday. Who's available to play?
Well, by that time, people will be well into their football mood.
Yeah.
And do they want to risk, or do they have to wait until next season?
Which we've seen that happen too.
To start the season off with the playoff.
We've seen that happen too. Yeah. We've seen that happen, and that is a good possibility. That could be the first game of the season
at the same venue because it'll be ready.
Yeah, we'll be ready. Yeah. You start the season off, and then it will be prior to the
start of the 2018 season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be a lot to play for if this match. But those are scenarios I honestly believe, and we keep saying this, those scenarios should be made public early. In the event that this match is not played, what do we do? Because it's a lot of what if factors in there. How does one prepare for next season? Do they keep the transfer market open? Because remember, some guys might go to flats if they're promoted, but if the game's next year, what happens?
Yeah, what happens?
You know, so how does this all these scenarios work?
There's a lot up in that head, man.
Yeah.
I'm always also just thinking about just the situation with Somerset. Probably having a challenge, because you're talking about football starting, wanted to use that field for training for football, but you still need to train for cricket.
Yeah.
And there's different preparations of the field that needs to happen to make that happen. So they're going to be challenged also. But with the young squad, I think the young squad that Jeff Richardson has up Somerset, they're just going to be willing to play.
Yeah.
So that's the great thing about the squad he has.
Right.
And then he mentioned the ever reliable Reed Jones.
Well,
I said reliable. He'll be there. If you call on him, he'll be there.
I've seen Reed go through the whole nine with Somerset, but one thing, he's loyal.
He's loyal. If they call him, he will be there.
He represents the club.
Oh yes, most definitely.
He doesn't want to see anything negative happen to the club, regardless of what has happened to him. He doesn't want to see anything negative
and it's players like that, members like that, because these guys, they pay their dues. They do whatever they need. The club needs is what keeps these clubs ticking over.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we can have a great match on Sunday.
And you'll see him those 2 days next year, helping with the preparation of the wicket.
Most definitely.
Because that's pride and joy.
Yeah.
Well, earlier today, Jay, the Bermuda Cricket Board announced the Player of the Week. Let's get that press conference.
All right, One Communication would like to congratulate Damani Bell for the Player of the Week of the Premier Division. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, man.
I just
Say a few words.
want to thank One Communications for sponsoring the league. I think it's a good incentive for all the players to try to get Player of the Week so they could get an award. And thanks.
I appreciate it.
So tell me about your spell. That was important for your team to get a good start from their opening bowler.
Okay, so basically going into the game on Sunday, we knew we had to get some extra points to give us a chance of staying up. So basically I've been in the game trying to just build everybody out. I try to put the balls in different places, try to get the batsmen out myself and not let them get themselves out. So building in different areas got the job done, and I'm happy that we came out victorious in the game, but we wasn't able to clinch to stay up.
So what are your team feeling about coming back and getting promoted back next year?
Well, it's all part of rebuilding. Some teams have to go down to rebuild, and I think it would be a good rebuild for us because we have a lot of youth that would be able to play next year in the first division. So I think it would be a good rebuild for us.
And you have quite a few young players actually playing this year too, don't you?
Yeah, we had a good bit of young players that played this year. They did excellent this year.
Kushai and Ajaya.
Yes.
Good. Well done.
All right, so on behalf of One Communications, I would like to congratulate Saraj Faris for the First Division Player of the Week. There you go. Okay. You want to say? Go ahead.
Afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Cell One for sponsoring the First Division, and my team also, and yeah.
So tell us about your innings.
Well, it started off a bit shaky. I was dropped twice on 0, and then after that I got comfortable, and then I was dropped again on 35, and then once I hit 50, I stopped pulling cramp and getting dehydrated, so I had to retire hard.
Was that your first 50?
Yeah, this is my first 50 for the season.
And how was the season for Bridge this year?
We started off good, and then we lost some points because our dues were paid late, so that dropped us into last, and then we only won about 3 games for the whole season.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D Music today.
Football.
Yes.
Sunday's expected the final round of the playoff division for the Dudley Eve. Another doubleheader will feature PHC and Boulevard and North Village and Robin Hood. We talked about those scenarios earlier, the last show, but now we get into weather. We get into a week later the season starts. Who wants to come out on top? Who wants to put themselves in the best position to start the season with a bang? You don't want to pick up any injuries, so it's coaches now go through that whole scenario. Boulevard will be looking for a positive result. Anything under 2 clear goals. If they score, then they will go 3. So they have a lot to play for, but they also want to get a good start to the league season. So it's twofold for them. They want to finish this with a bang and take that flow right into the season.
Yeah, it's I tell you, personally for me, the first 6 weeks is and this is for any league, any team, is finding their identity. Last season's last season.
Yes. Yeah.
That's gone. It's over.
Yeah.
Every year you have to, and coaches will have to find out what's our identity this season. There's some changes.
Yeah.
And all these teams we're talking about might be with changing system.
Yeah. I saw Boulevard play a little different.
And without Boulevard having Ian Coke, it's just trying to, do some different things.
Who will step up? They need to
so
find somebody.
It's about 2 things you mentioned there. One thing you mentioned there is going to be the fitness, which we talked about it with previous shows early in season. Lack of fitness can also lead to injuries.
Yes. Yeah.
Hamstrings and things of that nature. So for me, it doesn't really say, it's not a benchmark of anything or who wins or who loses, because there's so many variables right now, and everybody's still trying to figure out who's the best 11.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
When do we bring on super sub? Do we play this style for the whole game? Do we switch? So it's so many different things, and I think right now the coaches are just trying to get these guys into match shape. So the Dudley Cup it's not really a benchmark how the team's going to do in the season, because it's so early.
Right.
No, that's not to say you don't want to win it.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt.
You silverware is silverware.
Yeah.
You still want to win it, but it doesn't. For me, it's not an indicator of anything, because of the fact it's so early and teams are still trying to find their way through.
Well, I mean, got a chance to speak to Shaquille Burris, and he gave his opinion on what he would do as a North Village coach. But it'd be interesting to see how they go into their game against Robin Hood, because both teams will be looking to sort of put a stamp on the other team, because those 2 teams will be one of the favorites to win the league, obviously. PHC will be a favorite. Danley Town will be a favorite. The other teams we'll have to wait and see. But when you meet those teams early in the season, now PHC's already beaten Robin Hood. They beat them in the Charity Cup. North Village will want to do the same thing to have that over them going into the season. So, and Robin Hood will want to say, well, you couldn't beat me coming into the season. So that game should be very interesting. And after thinking about what you said on the Tuesday show, when you said, you would try youngsters and so forth, it could work. But again, I would still say I would go with what I'm looking to go into the season with, because I want that momentum going in.
Well, and it just, to agree with you on that side of it, we just talked about it. You're trying to find that identity, trying to find that chemistry. You're trying to find what's my best pairing down the back, who's my best center midfielder.
Right.
Are we going to play a high press?
Yes. Yeah.
Do I have the players to play a high press?
Mhm,
Are they fit enough to, or can they last? You know, so it's a lot of questions
Right.
that I think the coaches are asking.
Mhm.
Not only from the players, but probably second guessing themselves.
So, yeah.
So it's going, like I said, it's going to take about, I say, at least 5 to 6 games. It's not some might think shorter,
Right.
depending on who they have.
But a jump start to that is 6 teams would already have 2 games under the belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And actually, 2 of those teams would have 3.
Exactly.
So that will kick in a lot quicker than, say, like the Dendytown, the
Yeah.
Somerset, not the Somerset, but Dendytown and the others who have just been promoted.
Right, and they got to look at how quick are they going to get up to speed.
To adjust to it. Yeah.
So even, and let's just fast forward. Let's take, for instance, now Robin Hood plays a team like Dendytown.
Yeah, they have them the first game of
Right,
the season.
right. So your expectations right off the bat that Robin Hood should be in a better match condition.
Yeah, yeah.
And should, but you don't know.
Dendytown come out, got an early goal, because I keep saying sports in Bermuda is about emotion, man.
Yeah.
And that raises you that much higher. So it should be very
But I'll
interesting.
tell you, and I'm hoping that the BFA, because we've talked about it many times, it's the marketing side of the games of the day. Even if we don't do every game, let's at least try to market the game of the day. No matter where it is, when it is, the game of the day, let's try to do a better job of marketing the game of the day instead of you leaving it up to somebody to figure out what's your game of the day.
You know something, Jay? I had this conversation with somebody about 3 years ago. That was the last time I had a conversation like this. And I'm going to ask you this question. What would you consider to be the game of the day?
So when I say the game of the day, because a lot of times you can get a better game with 2 lesser teams.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So who decides that?
Right. No. So what happens is we talked about it many times. Sport is not only for exercise and enjoyment of that, but it's also entertaining.
Yes.
Right. So this really come over to my side of the time.
Yes, sir.
Right. You look at crowds,
Yeah.
fan bases,
What's going to pull it out?
rivalries, years of rivalries.
Yeah.
You know, neighborhood teams. All these things play.
We talked about that last year.
Right.
Where you have a weekend of neighborhood battles.
Right, and that's for me. Scheduling, I would have probably tried to do that
First weekend. Or second weekend.
Yeah. Because it automatically gets.
It pulls out people that normally wouldn't, or they'll find something else to do.
So that's where I said this is where you can manufacture a so-called game of the week.
Right.
Nah, it's like boxing. Scheduled to go 10.
Yeah.
It might not get to that far.
Right. It takes one punch.
It could probably be the boringest game you want to see.
Yeah.
because you can if you think about it, that also plays a psychological effect on the players too, because now you know that this is the game, and sometimes now you know what we're a little cautious.
Yes.
We're not free flowing anymore because we're cautious, and so these are the things that for the entertainment value is great.
Right.
And now for the traditional fan,
Right.
who's gonna go no matter what,
Right.
they don't care.
Right.
They don't care. But to get the crowds that you're looking for, you've got to get the casual person who should say, you know what? I hear, okay, you know what?
Let me go see what.
St. George and St. Davis, you
Yeah.
know they don't.
Oh yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're gonna be entertained.
Right.
No matter where they are on the table.
Doesn't care. Don't care.
That's that PHC and Rangers.
PHC and Rangers, right.
Yeah, North Village and Dendytown.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Devonshire Colts, Devonshire Cougars.
Yeah, you know
You just know
in for it.
You know you're in for it.
Yeah.
No, it could be a blowout.
Yeah.
Which happens at some of these rivalries.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying for the marketing side of it. So that's something that could be, and obviously we're always here to help.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, Jay, you know what's interesting? We have several youngsters abroad in school playing football for their schools. Let's get a rundown of the latest matches of our overseas college students playing football. Lucas Sumner's penalty kick in the 84th minute broke a 1-1 tie as Callan Miners and his USC Upstate men's football teammates claimed its second consecutive victory of the season with a 2-1 win over Wolfwood Terriers at the County University Soccer Stadium. Eva Frazzoni and her College of Rose women's soccer teammates built a 2-0 halftime lead and then held off a desperately moving forward Stonehill squad in the final 15 minutes to upend the defending Northeast 10 Conference champions 2-1 at the Sullivan Field. Sophomore midfielder Frazzoni gave the College of St. Rose the lead in the 9th minute. Jay, the start of the 2017-18 swimming season is about to get underway. A meet coming up at the end of the month. Got a chance to speak with the national coach and now Shadow Minister of Sport, Ben Smith, to talk about the upcoming season, and he gave me a stunner. At the end of the interview, he was talking about Rebecca Halliger. But let's get the interview and then we'll come back and talk about that plus other things. Ben Smith, we're getting close to the start of the 2017-18 swimming season. What can one look forward to in the upcoming days, weeks, and months in the pool?
Well, we've started to get back into training, so a lot of the swimmers took a couple of weeks off at the end of the season and have started to prepare for what's going to be coming up for this season. Our first competition will be the Barry Hansen Open, which will happen on September 30th at the Bassa Pool. So that's the first test in the water. Really, it's early in the season, and really there'll be a lot of kind of seeing fun between the kids and making sure that we have everybody following the rules, because the officials will have also had a break. So that's going to be our kickoff for the season. Other than that, obviously this year we'll be looking to put forward a really strong team for Carifta and CCCAN again. And there looks to be an exciting opportunity coming up in January. WANA, which is one of the organizers of our region, is trying to put together a brand new competition that will be very similar to Carifta and CCCAN, but it will bring in some of the countries from South America. So they're looking to call it the WANA Swimming Cup, and it will be an event where the swimmers will be able to put together their times and points and go against athletes from the South American region. So the Caribbean region will be up against the South American region. So we've just received the information on that, and we're looking forward to kind of putting everything together and talking to our technical committee and figuring out whether we can attend, because it looks like it could be very exciting.
Also, the nomination forms for anyone trying to qualify for the Commonwealth Games, that would have just recently closed. How are we situated with that, and do you think the qualifying times for that major event are within reach for some of the people on the cusp of the CCCAN and Carifta?
Yeah, so this year we have put in a very strong qualifying time for Commonwealth Games. We are looking to raise the standards for this upcoming quadrennial. After looking at what we were able to achieve over the last 4 years leading into Rio, we're trying to raise the standards even higher so that we can see even better performances heading into Tokyo. And with that being said, Jesse Washington and Maddie Moore would be the front runners to hit the qualifying times. They both came very close to hitting times over the summer as they competed at the Youth Commonwealth Games and also at the Junior World Championships in Indianapolis. So right now, those would be the two names that I would say that most people have heard that are coming out of the junior ranks and now moving into the senior ranks, and we hope that they'll be able to put in the qualifying times to be able to go to the Gold Coast.
What is the latest on Rebecca Heiliger? I know she's moved to Denmark, but what's the latest with her and her preparations for any season she's planning to have?
Well, we're actually in the process of having some conversations with her, because she has actually sent a message to Bassa stating that she is looking to retire from international competition and from swimming. So it's really in the early stages. It's a discussion that we're having right now, and we'll be able to make a definitive comment on that in the next couple of days.
Well, Jay, there you have it. Ben announcing that Rebecca has sent in a letter saying she wants to retire from international swimming. That would make it the second Olympian this year to
Recorded.
yeah.
Recorded.
Yeah.
Recorded. And first and foremost, want to thank Rebecca for making us proud. Anytime that any of our athletes get on the international stage and carry our flag, we're automatically proud. And I think that says a lot. When you're talking about the hours and dedication and sacrifice that these athletes have to make to get to that level, you've got to, it comes a time though.
Right.
Father Time is undefeated, as you would know.
But
Past weekend.
You still on me about that?
I mean, there's a song that says your body's here with me, but your mind's on the other side of town. I saw that the other day when you was playing netball. But getting back to Rebecca, that commitment to get yourself going, the motivation, and in sports like swimming, which is very you might go out as a team, but it's a lot of individual motivation.
Right.
Early mornings,
Very early.
jumping in the water.
Yeah.
And diet and all, and then it could be just family. You might want to just
take a break.
So, we hate to say this, but I don't want to say this, but Florida is going to have the decision
in a few years. Yeah. Tyler Butterfield's going to have the same. And then we'll be looking at the next. Who's next to step into that field?
And that's the great part about it, because, the athletes before them have opened the door up. They've walked through and may have gone a little bit further.
Yes.
Networked and you met more people. So now they're reaching back and pulling up, say, hey, follow me. I've got these connects. You go a little bit further.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. So I wish her all the best. I would love to see her stay around the sport.
Well, she's only talking about retiring from internationally,
right?
But they're in early talks. I think Ben is trying to convince her not to do it.
Well, obviously, duh. Me too, really.
Yeah, but she still wants to stay involved.
Yeah, and that's.
But I think she's settling in Denmark, getting a job. That time for training at that level is going to be difficult. And I think that's where her mind is right now.
But you also said something just now, Earl. Job.
Yeah.
Finances.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Eventually, it takes a toll on one's pocket, especially if you're not being sponsored.
Right.
So, who knows what's led into this decision?
Right.
But it's not for us to say.
No.
I just wish her the best, whatever she goes into.
Well, Jay, this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we have two major events in the sport of triathlon. We have the Triathlon World Championships.
Finally.
With Flora Duffy, Tyler Smith, and Erica Hawley taking part. And then we have the ITU World Age Group Championships, the sprint distance. Last week was the 70.3 Ironman. This week is the ITU Sprint Distance and Olympic Distance Triathlon World Championships. Those events are in Rotterdam. Karen Smith, who done a race 5 hours last week, has flown to Rotterdam to compete in the sprint distance. You're shaking your head because I'd still be laying on the ground in Tennessee. But we want to wish Flora, Tyler, Erica, Karen, Kent, Leah.
Kent's still good, ain't he?
Yeah. That's ticking. And the
it's gonna be just as good as Father Time.
Kent, Juggler said that. I didn't say that. But good luck.
But just doing pretty good with it, though. No, just
Kent's a lot of fun to be around. Hard working, got that drive and that energy.
Like I said, that motivation, it's there.
Yeah.
And
to put your body through that.
And the sacrifice he has to make, like I said, getting older, you got to make a little bit more sacrifices.
Sure. So good luck to you all, and we will have your reports and updates on our next Digicel Sports Show right here.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, your sport. A stick.
Yeah.
And some balls.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Pool League will get underway next Thursday.
Yo, I will spank you.
Huh?
You know what they say.
Oh, boy.
Chalk up. And rack up.
That one there. Don't take no jumping.
That's all right.
Challenge?
Oh, is it? And put it on tape.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Challenge. You might have hung up at Warwick Reckman. They have a billiards table. And they have a pool. They had a pool table too. Yeah. Actually, we'll do it up there.
Earl, Iraq Based.
Iraq's still standing out. The U.S. bombed us. But 16 teams, Jay. It looks as if this year it's going to get back to years going by.
Yeah. I was shocked when you said 16. Whoa.
It should be very interesting. We're going to keep tabs on how they're making out. And obviously, they get into tournaments where you don't represent your club, you represent yourself, trying to be the champion individual, and then team, and then obviously duels. So we'll look forward to the pool season.
Yeah, I tell you, growing up, and the pool rooms. I remember where Dub City is now on Court Street, upstairs there. The old club 40,
Yeah.
40 Thieves
40,
downstairs.
yes.
And all over. Every it was pool rooms all over.
All over.
But sports like pool, darts, and also table tennis.
Yes. Yeah.
Took a dive, and I would like to see those other two be revived the same way. I mean, I think they're still playing a better darts, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not as big as it used to be.
No, not as big as it used. And then table tennis, we see it tried to make something come back a couple of years ago, but that really needs to get back.
Right. I think, remember, it was when these particular sports that you're talking about were thriving, you had a group of people making sure that everybody knew what was going on. They informed the media, and that's what kept the interest going.
Yeah.
And then you get down to one person doing everything that just says, you know what, I just need to make sure that we keep playing. Don't worry about the outside world. And then what happens is the inside world of those sports start to shrink, and eventually it dies off.
Yeah, I just remember that just reason the table tennis was a lot of table tennis players came out of youth centers.
Yeah.
That was the big, and you've seen the decline of youth centers, but also talking about darts and pool that came from clubs.
Yes. Yeah.
How many clubs actually have a
Pool
working pool table that's not lopsided and
Well, it would be 16 now.
Everybody share a stick, and I remember going to international sports shop and seeing a rack of sticks that they had all the supplies.
Heavy, light.
Yes, so they're not.
What type of stick? You're a heavy stick?
Yes.
Yeah, a heavy stick. Okay.
So when I beat you feel it.
Well, you be leaning on yours a lot.
That's all right.
Well, I only got to knock down a couple balls and I'll be all right.
Not a problem, mate.
What are you feeling? Best of 5?
Best of 5.
Best of 5. You heard it first here.
Call all your shots.
Call
every last one.
Not a problem.
Even your lucky ones. Call it.
Wishful thinking, juggling Jay will be defeated. 3, I'll even give you 1. Okay? Rack them. Stack them and rack them.
All right, Iraq Basin.
Yeah, Iraq. Iran. Well, folks, we've come to the end of the Digicel Sports Show. We'll have a date at some point in time for this pool-off between myself, Earl Baston, and Juggling Jay. And we'll invite a few friends to do a little bit of commentating to make sure.
That is perfect with me.
To make sure that everything is legal and above board.
I just remember, you do remember my middle name, right?
Your middle name?
Yeah.
What was it?
Champion. You don't want me to go back. Every time we have these, I always come up with the champion. You don't want to pick games with me no more because I beat you 2 years in a row. Champion.
What games?
Well, we'll talk about that in another show.
Folks, have a good night from this dreamer, Juggling Jay.
Champion.